Seyi, now we had the second transfer window in January and the beginning of February. Overall, what's your balance there? How happy are you with the transfers?
So far, so good. I mean, as football people, we'll always want more and more. We'll always want better players. But again, I'm very, very happy with the squad. I want to believe Giorgio Contini, our head coach, and the staff are happy as well. Of course, we lost a few players, some on loan, some left us permanently. We made a few additions as well. Some are just getting their work permit, and then hopefully they can begin to step to the pitch and then begin to see how they help us going forward. But so far, so good. It's been good.
You mentioned it yourself. We had a few players leaving us. What do you want to say to those players that were here and now left either permanently or on loan?
It is important to place our thanks, especially to the ones that are leaving us, haven't been here for a while. Particular mention must be made to Alexander Svetkovic, who captained this club to promotion last season. His blood and sweat he left on the pitch, or on so many pitches of this country to sort of get us to where we are. But that's the nature of this business. No player will remain at one club forever. There comes a point in time whereby players need to leave and some need to come. But we can only thank them for what they've done for us. Diani, we must not forget Diani, was instrumental. When I came into this football club, Diani was on his way out. But without me claiming the success and the glory, I think it was more to do with Giorgio and his team saying, come on, we can do this, we can help this kid get to the next stage. And he came in and he took the opportunity. We helped him for the first 6 months, and unfortunately he had to leave in December. But again, we focus on the additions we've made, and I think we're in a good place.
Also, maybe for the fans, hard to accept in the beginning, hard to see Nikola Georgiev go, but he has also played an important role for this club.
Absolutely, Georgiev has been here for a number, almost a decade now, if I'm not mistaken, and he's part of the furniture at this football club, as we say, and he's, like I said, he's very similar to Svetkovic, even though it's slightly different because he's Swiss. He's a Gatesay boy, but I'm not sure the system we play at this present point in time suits Georgiev, unfortunately. For me, he's an out-and-out winger, and while we cannot provide him with that opportunity, it makes sense for him to sort of go and play some football, which he has missed for the last 6 months. So let's let him go and play football. Let's see what happens with him.
Some players going, but some coming. We made new additions to the team. What can you say about the new players that joined the club in this first part of the year?
Yeah. Well, so far so good. We have not been able to see an awful lot of your Sangbains or your Yumuseko because of the work permit. But I mean, now we have the work permit. They played some parts already in the young boys, the game against young boy Sangbain especially, not Seko. And I think it showed a little bit what is all about. And long may that continue. With Ribeiro coming in to replace players like Totti, I mean, he's proven his mettle as well. He got thrown in immediately as Sion, which can be a little bit tricky. Ideally, you want a situation whereby he sits on the bench for a few games to understudy, to know how we play football here, to understand the group a little bit more. But such is the character of the 22-year-old kid. He's come in, embraced it, no problem. Let's run with it. So quite happy with the addition.
And with Campana and Demazai, who left the club, were you actually trying to maybe bring in a new striker as well?
Yes, the idea is to loan Demazai to go and get some game time. I don't think for a player of his caliber, getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there is good for him. You know, of course, we still need him next summer. If he comes good, if he goes and scores the goals, we know he can score. But more importantly, regain his confidence with a view to helping. We try to bring a centre forward in, but again, for me, it's horses for courses. Rather than just get anyone in for the sake of getting anyone in, we didn't get the right one that we felt could sort of help us to complement what we already have. But again, that said, what Momo Francis is doing at the moment, what Kalisane has already shown he can do, Sangbain is going to come in and add to that. Leo Bonatini is there. So I think we've got enough firepower for this season to help us get to where we want to get to.
You mentioned Momo yourself. Can you tell us a couple of words about him and maybe Kachuri, who both are starting to get regular time with the first team?
Yeah, well, before I speak about Momo and Kachuri, I think it's important I mention the plan for the football club going forward. I think what we want to do is promote young players from the youth to start playing for our first team, or at least have an opportunity to train with the first team regularly, and then take the opportunity when it presents itself. Momo and Kachuri at the moment are a good example of that. Simone and Felipe are other ones that definitely will sign extensions with us, train right now with the first team. Damian Nig is another one, just to mention a few. Malik Deme is still hanging in the corner. So we want to do the best by these kids to sort of make sure we promote them, give them the best opportunity, and then see what they can and can't do. But if we don't expose them early, it becomes a little bit difficult for them to sort of catch up. So that's the plan, to sort of make sure we give them the right education so they can take the right steps going forward.
Talking about two more experienced players like Giotto Morandi and Najak, how are they looking in the everyday training?
We're very happy about the fact that they are back and training regularly right now. Let's not forget about the fact that they've been injured for a long time. Both players have had knee injuries that have sidelined them for months, over 12 months by understanding. And to have them training regularly with us is a good testament to their character. Since I've been here, there's not been one day I have ever had any bad report about them not coming to training, sulking or whatever. They've got on with it. It's very, very difficult for any player when you get injured to then come back, to then come every day knowing fully well that you're supposed to be training but receiving treatment on the beds. But they've been very, very professional, and now they're fit, which leads me also now to the contingent list, because we have 2 spaces available to be filled. But again, it's a day-to-day thing with them. Let's see, they've not played for a while. Now they're training and playing games in the Super League are different. We want to try and make sure we get them up to speed in such a level that we know they can help us immediately. But again, the opportunity is there with the spaces we have on the list to sort of fill that quota if needed.
And switching now to some loan players, we have some loan players here. Most of them are doing pretty well. One of them is Bola, who scored the equalizer against Young Boys in the very last minute. How is the situation looking for him at the end of the season?
Well, it's pretty much simple. Bola is on loan from Wolves, signed by Wolves, loan to us, and come end of the season, he goes back to Wolves. Unfortunately, at this point in time, what we're doing is to speak to Wolves to try and see if we can extend the loan such that he can carry on his education with us. But again, it's out of our hands. It's not a player. It's only here on a temporary basis.
And finally, just about the second part of the season now, the games that are missing. What are your expectations? How do you see the team in 3-4 months?
Well, that has not changed from the very first time we had this interview. From the very first time we spoke about the realistic expectation for the team. Again, going back to respecting the Super League, we've only just got promoted in the Super League this year, so it's only fair that we think about staying in the league while we continue to build some blocks towards taking the steps forward. There's a lot of work we need to do, no doubt about that. But Rome, they say, was not built in a day, and it's going to be a step-by-step phase. So consolidating on where we are at the moment, try as much as possible to stay in the league, and we'll build from there. I'm not going to be able to sit down here and tell you we're going to be 8th, 9th, hopefully not 9th. I'm not going to say we're going to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd. It's very difficult to say, but anything that keeps us in the league will be a good start. And can build on that going forward.
Thank you. And finally, a last question about your German class. How is it going?
Mein Deutsch Unterricht läuft sehr gut und macht Spaß. Vielen Dank.
Danke dir.